What's good? It's Chigozi. Friday, April 24th, 2020. They still have this updated at 1:05 p.m. Masonry 1:05, Zionism 1:05. We have a couple kisses after their wedding ceremony, which included only witnesses in Vilnius, Lithuania on April 3rd. Pandemic equals 43. Here on 4/3, we get this disgusting photo of these two actors wearing these nasty face masks, flaunting them off. And what we didn't do in the last video is see the gematria behind Vilnius, Lithuania. What a good way to kick off this video. They updated this piece at 1:05. That place equals 1:05. More importantly, it equals 2:01. Think about event 2:01, the big coronavirus simulation put on by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Johns Hopkins University, who is the same organization giving us the updates of the coronavirus death numbers. I mean, it equals 2:01. Should we not dwell on that any further? Let's just go. Let's move on. That's a good way to open this video. Vilnius 34. It was on 3/4. Of course, that also equals 47. So here, also, let's just see why they're in Lithuania. Because again, it could have been anything. They use these places, these numbers, all for a reason. All for a reason. Lithuania, 58, like Freemasonry. That's the main thing I see. 41 to 13th prime. So let's go down. We already saw, again, this is part 2, so we're not going to even repeat any of these photos. We will see the one we left off on with the black people, because that's how we know where we left off anyway. So I'm not going to do this decoding again, but again, Katira equals the same thing as nigger, and Katira Shores equals the same thing as marriage. Just do the decode yourself. It's extremely easy to do. Two black people, March 19th, 2020, 3 plus 19 plus 20, 42, nigger 42. 193 is a 44 prime, black people 44, African American 44. So let's move on to this one. Newly married Tyler and Karen Suitors. They're getting married. Anyway, newly married Tyler and Karen Suitors embrace following a marriage ceremony performed by Reverend Andrew Merrill. I already see the riddle. What if I said we already called this before Andrew Cuomo became even so popular, the 56th governor of New York? I said, look out for the name Andrew because it's the same numbers as pandemic. I've already said that in that video where we had Andrew spraying the chemicals on the bus. Go check out my video with them spraying chemicals on that school bus. The name, it's either the name of the custodian or I think his name is a custodian. It's Andrew, yeah. But Andrew Marrow equals 157 to 37 prime. Just like, what's his name? Patrick Crilly, 157. He's one of the guys in one of the previous photos. Patrick Crilly, 157. Virus, 37. 157 to 37 prime. Andrew Marrow equals 67 like Wuhan. 68 like Wuhan. Also Marrow. Marrow, 38 like pandemic. 70 like coronavirus. This is the name of the reverend. Please follow along in Gematrinator if you don't know what the words mean. But just, we know these patterns. Coronavirus 70, but I'm not going to type in pandemic, but it equals 38. It equals 43. But I'm going to put in Andrew, just so you can see. Well, I want to see REV first, because that's how I had it stylized. Okay, 202, Wuhan 22. See how it also goes 203 when you reverse? Wuhan 23, Wuhan 22, 23. 68, the reflection of 86. But then just to show you the Andrew that I was telling you about. Andrew equals 65 like pandemic. Okay, I'll type out pandemic because we've seen pretty much all the numbers for it. But understand these are the patterns they use. Pandemic 65, 38, 43, 151. See that? That's why we have Andrew there. And that's all we'll do. We'll move over, go to the next page. It's a pretty good. So I copied and pasted his name. I'm glad I did. So I was pronouncing it wrong. Look at this woman in the black and red Jesuit order colors with the mask on. What is this? Lara Lass with the 33 initials. L is the 12th letter. 1 plus 2 is 3. And Daniel Clark are married at Sydney's Captain Henry Waterhouse Reserve in Kirribilli on March 28th. Some Australian nonsense. Daniel, its name is being used a lot. Think of the book of Daniel, how it's apocalyptic. March 28th. Let's see. So I see the date numerology they're giving us. Inside this propaganda from Australia. That's what, 7135 date numerology. So that's also 28/3, 283. We'll look at that soon. But that's 7117, big CDC numbers, virus 35. See what I'm saying? It's always numerical ritual with this gang. Always, 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 always. 283 is the 61st prime. 61 is the 18th prime. I just want to call that out in case there's a riddle with that number in this with Sydney with Australia. Again, guys, just look at if you might not be able to see the scroll bar on the right, but you can kind of see it as move it down that little grade. That's how much left we have. That's what I'm just kind of go through these. We can see them. We can always revisit the photos. You know what I mean? Revisit that first one. Bride Sylviana Dewi, center, and groom Ivo Dharmawangsa Wright make vows during the wedding ceremony in Suwi, Indonesia on April 9th. Scottish 49, but more importantly, coronavirus pandemic 94. And not 9/4. See? And again, it's the brides. They love to have these people coded. Let's just do the bride's name. Guess if I was on a desktop, maybe we can go get a little bit more information, but it is what it is. But I mean, this is perfect. I said, let's just do the bride's name and move on. Her name equals 56, like coronavirus. One more time. What other example would you need? And I'll put in Dewi, and I'll put in, let's make sure I spelled it right. And then I'll put in coronavirus. So you can see real quick. Coronavirus equals 56 with the S exception. Because again, S is the 19th letter, 1 plus 9 is 10. So reducing S only once, coronavirus 56, like her name, Sylviana Dewi 56. And her last name, 67, 23, 22, like Wuhan. And of course, Sylviana 33. Also 57 like vaccine, 42 like female, like Freemason. That's why I'm going through these photos, decoding the names of these people. Sure, Siwa, Indonesia, might as well. I mean, the location's important. But again, if you want to have some fun, do the groom. I'm sure the groom is extremely coded too. But I feel like we're just proving the point by what we're already doing. Siwa, Indonesia, 83. Pandemic, 38. Siwa, 56. See? Siwa. Of all the places in Indonesia, doesn't Indonesia have like hundreds of islands and shit? I mean, guys, there's so many places in Indonesia. And they pick a place with 56. Think about it. Her name equals 56. Like coronavirus, pandemic 65, the reflection. An employee sanitizes the chuppah, or Jewish wedding canopy, before Israeli couple Roni Ben Ari and Yantana Mushar get married at Ain Hamed Forest wedding venue in Ain Hamed, Israel on March 18th. Order out of chaos equals 183. Israel is a land that came out of an order out of chaos agenda. The whole point is coming out of, and that's why they have that type of language with the numbers. But I just want to see this guy's name. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's just do where they're getting married at. The Ain Hamed Forest wedding venue in Ain Hamed. Let's see what this place equals. 126. Does remind me of the day Kobe died. Kobe and COVID do mean the same thing in Hebrew. This place also equals 135, like the Key of David. With the location is Ain Hamed. 63, 36, like COVID-19. I mean, it's just the same contrived nonsense. See? It's the same. That's why they use this place. Unbelievable. sure there's a lot more there that I'm missing, but it's better to even just keep going. Let's see. We might even close off after like a couple more photos. This will be a multi-part thing. So we have some Asians here and some masks. More just the programming of that, obviously. A couple posed for photos at the Pushi Wedding Photography Studio in Wuhan, Hubei Province, China, on April 15th. People in Wuhan have restarted wedding preparations as the coronavirus outbreak there appears to be waning. For now, and then might come back at the second stage, especially as the simulation's been saying. Wiping out poor communities. China has a whole bunch of poor communities. This place could be a poor community. But here's the Pushi Wedding Photography Studio. Just Pushi, pushy, like pushing out an agenda. Could be coincidental why they call that, but it could be, because it could be deeper. But let's just see the Gematria. Get the coronavirus pandemic virus numbers. See? Virus 26, 35, or no, 37, Pushi 3726. It's the virus numbers all the time. How easy has this been? Virus overlapping with this in Gematria. China also overlaps as well. I mean, that's the thing. They could have picked anything else. They didn't even do Wuhan, because that's where it is. They just straight up used the China pattern. China 26, Pushi 26. Didn't I say all Chinese nonsense from the government comes by the number 26? This is Chinese nonsense from the government. It is coming out by the number 26. Like, yeah, I really wish that YouTube didn't take my fucking video down. I still can't believe it. Just a simple video showing you some good examples of the Chinese pattern, and they took it down. But don't worry, I have plenty more that show the same example. Look at this pentagram on her hand. This tattoo it says, looks like a flag, some sort of flag. It's definitely, not just an arbitrary flag. I mean, it's, you guys probably know it. I don't know it, but leave in the comments if you know it. Tatiana Datola and Armando De Rosa lowered their protective face masks to kiss at the wedding ceremony in Rome on April 11th. Again, it's just don't wear the mask in the first place. That's, again, my whole point of this video as well. I like to pick on the bride because this whole time their names have just been immensely coded with just these coronavirus numbers. See? 94. Like coronavirus pandemic. Unbelievable. And the 131, the 32nd prime. Reshuffling of 113. I saw the Tatiana Gematria too with conspiracy numbers. Datola. See how Datola and pandemic have their overlap? 65 and 43. Again, I'm not Italian, but I'm sorry. I can sit here all day and name a bunch of Italian last names just because the culture's pretty prevalent. So don't fucking tell me that this is a coincidence. Why are they giving us an Italian actor with the last name with the same thing as pandemic? Just ask yourself that. Unbelievable. Might as well do Armando De Rosa. Of course, on April 11th. I mean, there's a whole lot here. It's an April 11th World War number, but they're in Rome, Italy, black and red colors, Vatican, the Jesuit order. This is bullshit, propaganda, nonsense, theater ritual from the Catholic Church. I mean, how is this not from the fucking Catholic Church? They're in Rome. Why is she wearing red? Maybe in Italy, all wedding. No, that's bullshit. Because I know an Italian trader, he has wedding photos on Twitter, and his bride was wearing fucking white. So they don't all wear red in Italy when they're getting married. That's why I know it's not true. So you see it right there. You see it right there. The black and red Jesuit order colors in Rome. See, Armando De Rosa, 56, 65, like coronavirus. 223, like novel coronavirus, like Masonic. I'm going very slow here, just, having a good time, talking, giving you some rants and whatnot, and then we'll plug in the names, and it is the same pattern. So there's no excuses. Novel coronavirus, 223, and 79, like Armando De Rosa. Guys, Italy has so many names. Your name can be Armando De Rosa. His name could be like Armando Piazza, right? It could be like La Plaza. Guys, they have so many combinations of Italian names. That's why maybe looking at Italy is a good way to expose this shit. Because how is this coincidental? You know what I mean? It's not like English names or some other, or Spanish even, where it's kind of like a lot of it's, similar, or even Spanish because it has a lot of different, like, cadences too. So we're talking about Italian names. We have all different variety, and we get this pattern blatantly on our first try. It explains the whole thing. It's bullshit, and we're just gonna leave it there. I mean, 15 minutes. Next time, this is more Chinese, Hong Kong. I mean, what's there to do here? March 29th. We might as well start that off with a date numerology. Here was this Mohammed Abu Daga. Oh, more Gaza Strip. Because they do this to mock you, I'm telling you. These people love bombing the Gaza Strip. And it's also just more of that programming. Oh, the Gaza Strip. That's where all the evil Palestinians are. And they put that shit in this propaganda. There's a second photo in this gallery of the Gaza Strip. So, yeah, we're going to close it here. These arches. These more Italy. Oh, this is Germany. So we'll do it. We'll do these later. So I hope you see it. I hope your takeaway is this: in Rome, their names are completely coded. Don't forget, Italy equals 67 like Wuhan. Unbelievable. All right, peace out.